Aw, so I destroyed that artifact. But it allowed me to get back in here, which that gate didn't allow me through before. There's an inscription above this gate too. This is fractured. Oh, your eyes. Probably something. I can add my translation for eyes to my dictionary now. Find, gate, and stay. Maybe it's... Find, gate... Point? Point your eyes somewhere or close your eyes. But there's an X. Interesting. Maybe point your eyes. I don't know why they would ask you to close them going into that area. I could still change my mind, but point your eyes? You lied to me, Six. Because of your ethical core. That is correct, mistress. I cannot allow you to harm yourself. What if I order you not to lie to me? You are welcome to do that, mistress. Would it stop you lying? You might choose to believe that it would. That's interesting. Yeah, because he lied to prevent us from getting here thinking that the wind would be enough to harm her. Ooh. Somebody huddled here to keep warm. Burned what they could find. Books, most likely. It seems to be a hefty axe. I think it dates back from at least the earliest days of the Empire. This is mining equipment. How did this come to be here? There's a carved phrase on the blade. Crystal Masters. Oh. Probably from metal, place, path, and sat. From metal. Place, path, sat. Again. Work breeds life. Comes life. Metal comes metal. From work comes life. From metal comes metal. From work comes life. I can see that working. From metal comes metal. From work comes life. That will do for now. I think this comes from the same source as the shard of the blade and the lantern we found here before. That suggests people commonly frequented both of these two places. This should help us work out where to look for the pre-Empire site. And now the book. Here's some more symbols. This is the end of a longer line of text. So we have a fairly long phrase. What? Why? This is something new. I don't believe I've found many phrases with the squiggle with the 2 dashes above it. Give. You? I think those aren't the symbols for what at all. But I believe I remember the word my mistress. This one has a lot of symbols, but I think it must say give. Cannot, should, and time. When. When my... Listen, speak... Via, so words or ideas. or truth. When my words give you the eye and love. Happiness? I believe so. When my words give you happiness. When my words give you happiness. How old would you say the site is exactly? I would date it back to the very first days of the Holy Empire, mistress. Probably constructed during the reign of the first empress herself. You there. A desk? That's the ramp that they had made with the door, to help a robot get through. Did the first empress, who declared herself holy, did she still believe in the older gods? Still fear them? That's interesting. Did the emperors start to fancy themselves gods? That ramp is a door. There's no way it fell like this. Someone made themselves a way through. Someone with a robot. Stuck fast. Ah, this is where we wanted to go. A mural. Similar to the one we saw in the garden of the emperors. Perhaps this one is slightly older. Even more worn. A line of figures, some stooped, some young, gathered together, then falling. A bright light. That's all I can make out. So, if this was a hospital, tending to the young who are sick and the elderly, and they fall, did they die? Mistress, I do not wish to alarm you, but I am sure I heard something moving nearby. You think the gods are coming for us? No, mistress. Something below. 6. Is there a vault here? Have we found it? Found the vault? I understood this was the Withering Palace, mistress. This place is a palace, not a vault. There's something moving beneath, but maybe the people that had the robots and broke this, are they still here? I could just use the gate, but... Wait, is that a hopper eye down there?
The rock had been scooped out to make a roof for the courtyard, keeping it safe from the endless storm beyond.
It's so quiet.
This was a secret place.
Some kind of ritual space? A hospital, or something worse. There is something about this place, mistress. I cannot, as you might say, put my finger on it. Are you trying to remember something? You're a machine. Surely you either remember or you don't. That is what I would have expected, yes. This looks like an altar to me. Is this a temple then? Did the Emperor secretly worship the ancient gods? And something's been chiseled in here. Beautiful workmanship. This one has several words. Death is... Gate watch. A door. Probably a door, an entrance. If we're going with gate or point. Death is a door. Does death is a door make sense? But if death is a door, what's on the other side? Did people die here? Or people who were withering? Tended by robots, perhaps? With all the gods watching. Oh, that's probably a way down there. But I want to see all of the gods first. Oh. Oh, I have to go around this way with all these posts. There are some carvings here. Not much visible. The dust has worn it all away. A few images, but it's hard to see what they are. These stone panels must have all been inscribed once, telling some kind of story. Gone now. Aw, Six looks sad about that. Yeah, I believe I always get sad when I go to graveyards and see the ancient stones, the ones that are from, say, the 1700s, where they used to have all of the words protruding rather than carved into the stone. So they wrote away and then there's nothing left. You can't even see the names of the deceased anymore. Evidently, it is both like and unlike the Emperor's secret garden. Yeah, this was intended for robots and humans alike if it has the slope, and the stairs. I've never seen ancient symbols scrolled like this. Written in charcoal, I think. Oh, these are new symbols. I've got one of these words in my notebook, but I'll have to take a stab at what's left. Are these numbers? And bear on in you. Probably. Why so many numbers? This is probably 100. And now, for one, usually when you're referring to yourself in the singular, the my and the I and stuff, usually there's the dot. So I'm gonna say 100, and this is usually for multiple, the U. I mean, it could be a base 5 system or a base 10 system. So I'm gonna say 1 and... Okay, that before the 1. 16. That would be if this is 10 and this is an additional 5. That could make sense. 116. Ooh. I haven't gotten to the number system yet in this game at all, so we'll have to see. 116. I'm fairly sure those two are numbers. But what they're meant to signify, I have no idea. Unless that was someone's age when they died? How many people were here? Yeah, these are the gods. I've seen multiple of them thus far. The weeping one, the one reaching skyward, the water one. And there's a hole? Weird. I'm not gonna go for the obvious hole quite yet. Have you worked out what's troubling you yet? Yes. No. There was a chair. What kind of chair? Here. In the center of this place. Wait, where the hole is? A chair. On wheels. I sat down in it, mistress. They put something on my brow. What do you mean by sat? Yeah, he was a human once, I'm sure of it. What do you mean sat? I sat in a chair. Golden. Painted, of course. Carved with leaves. Winding up its legs, faces, watching me. I remember the texture of the wood. I could barely lift my head, but I lifted it all the same. Mistress, I was tied. 6. Something's happening to you, 6. Can't you see he was human once? There's something here doing something to you. I am myself, mistress. I am not surprised if that upsets you. No, I am not getting out of here. We are investigating this. I am remembering, mistress. I am remembering, and yet I have never forgotten. I always suspected that the robots were people at one time, that they continued. But did they perform some kind of ghastly ritual where they forced people to become robots? Because they never seemed to have the level of technology to make an artificial intelligence, but to put souls, to put spirits into these, that would make robotic servants. These must have been placed here deliberately. To mark this god in particular. The praying goddess. God? Goddess? I can't tell. It seems curious to assign a gender to a god, mistress. After all, what would they do with it? Well, you haven't read Greek mythology, 6. Not that it exists in this universe, but gods use that all the time. Yeah, I don't see an inscription here, but there was an inscription elsewhere. This one is the water goddess from Mercy. Nice to see an old friend out here. I know these glyphs at her feet. They say water. As we thought. I like the detail of her bringing out the book. I'm not looking at that hole yet. It's creepy. The horned goddess. The horned goddess. From the Emperor's secret garden. Still weeping. And there doesn't seem to be an inscription to read. This one seems to be just a head on a stack of barrels. This isn't a word I already know. I'll have to make a guess. A bird would have wings, surely. The serpent... Now, a serpent wouldn't have arms or legs. Strength. Or the mine. I'm guessing... Oh, land, place, and serpents. This might be the serpent goddess? Serpent. That would explain the lack of arms. Although it doesn't explain why the ancients worshipped snakes. It could be strength, too. This one seems to be giving something. Or maybe holding something. More glyphs. Face of the Giving Goddess. Just one word. At least it's short. Day, place, and the star. I'm gonna say sun or light. Probably the light goddess? Light. That would explain what it's giving. This one is the toll god from the Serpent's Eye crater. And we thought it was the sky god. Let's see now. Holy place and star, so... I still think it's sky. The sky work. That confirms it. A sky god. Of sailing and rivers. Ooh, move the stones. I wonder if behind all of this... We have the inscription, but what's under it? There. More glyphs. That might tell us who this god is. Crystals, place, and serpents again. So, I know it's probably not fire. Maybe the ground? Or a haven, like a port. A place. And crystals. Maybe the ground. It seems the shortest. Ground. A goddess of the earth? Is that a hopper eye? Looking toward the altar. I believe so, mistress. Strange thing, the hopper eye. It's right under the overhang of the rock. There's no line of sight to anywhere. But it is most curious. Yes, I see. Can we use it? Do you really want to? Perhaps it refracts underground to whatever's down there. If this hopper directed one underground mistress, then one would require another hopper inside that space to return. Is this a place of execution? A hopper set up to carry you straight into a rock. It is indeed possible. Ooh, but then why was poor Six executed? If he in fact was. There must be something down there. A runoff for water, perhaps? If this moon ever had any. Ooh, do I want to drop in a stone? Let's see. I wonder. Here's a stone. How long does it take to hear something? Nothing. If it hit the bottom at all, I didn't hear it. What's down there? And why was Six put on top of it? How deep, Six? Appallingly deep, mistress. You sound scared, Six. Yes, mistress. This place is a deeply unhappy one, mistress. He seems fixated on the hopper eye. There is another one over here. Mistress, I have completed my analysis of the hopper eye. I have sent test packets through and analyzed the minor refractions. I would like to leave now, mistress. But I cannot hopper us from under the rock. You've obtained 5 promising artifacts here. We've also located one new location, a pre-Empire site. Also, we have learned of one new location of note, an Age of Sail site. I'd like to activate the hopper now, mistress. What's the matter? Are you going to tell me that what the hopper does? I observed two things about the hopper. Individually, they are of trivial interest. Together, they are as we feared. Just tell me. This eye is flawed, mistress. Internal cracking means it can only refract some of the information passed to it. Specifically, the physical matrix is not refracted. If used, only the neural mesh would disentangle. I'm an archaeologist, 6. I speak ancient, not whatever language that is. Don't you know they're only sending the minds into something? You might hopper into the eye and never arrive. My second finding is, however, more pressing. This hopper is not broken. It has been carefully engineered to function in this way. But what good is a neural mesh without a physical matrix? Maybe they brought a matrix with them? Perhaps so. Could a neural mesh be stored? Or what good that might do? Mistress, we have found all that we can hope to here. We should leave. Shall I try the hopper one more time, mistress? Soon. Not yet. There's something embedded in the stone here. I've never seen anything like it. It's a device of some kind. 6. What do you make of it? Evidently, it is old, mistress. Evidently, it is very old. I still think 6 was made into a robot. I think all the robots were once people, but they were put through this grisly process to separate their mind from their body. Tell me something specific, robot. I would estimate the metal in this piece to be almost 2,500 years old. That's as old as anything we've ever found. Indeed, mistress. Is this lined up with the eye? This is a line to the this is a line to the hopper eye. I believe it is a hopper source. Yes, mistress. A sort of emitter, although it is clearly defunct. So did people stand at the altar activate it to the hapless person that's sitting between all of the gods, and then it refracts into the hopper, they get sent somewhere. The sources appear to be aimed directly at the hopper eye, mistress. That's all I need to know. We're gonna go down that hole. Yep, there it is. Clamber down. Because someone wanted to get beneath without having to use the hopper to do it. Wait here, 6. I'll be back. Ooh, purple. Mistress, please. Do you really have to? Oh. Ugh. Ooh.
Empty, cold, stale air.
What is this place?
A cavernous space all around me.
Aliya, what have you found? That's the hole we saw above. Or light. Or something to do with the hopper eye. Was this a treasure vault? You could store vast amounts here. This isn't Renba's mysterious vault, surely. But what was that? I'm sure I heard something. I'm sure of it. Maybe it was the stone I dropped in from above. Maybe it finally hit the bottom. Is there something living here, or is a robot stranded down here? Because look, all of these pathways, they're meant for robots because they're... I seem to be whispering. There's more graffiti here. More charcoal glyphs. These ones look more promising than the last, I think. Oh, protect something from our... No silent water. Nothing silent water. Nothing? Nothing can protect... the palace of... Is this the palace of the gods? Happiness, should, and time. The palace of the gods from our fire, happiness. Fire and happiness mixed together sounds like anger. Nothing can protect the palace of the gods from our anger. That will do for now. Is that this place? But it hasn't fallen. It's very much intact. This space is huge and so cold. It must go right down to the core. I don't like it down here one bit. Yes, but they're... I'm gonna stay around the upper edge and see if I can find anything else. But someone or something might still be down here. Ramps. No stairs. Easy now. I don't want to fall. This was... wait. How far down does this go? This place was built for robots. They were buried in here? This is a palace after all. But a palace for them? Underground. Out of sight. Kai was right. I wonder if there's a chamber like this under Iox somewhere. But why build something like this? As a prison? As a hideout? Kaya wanted to come here. But why would anyone want to come down here? How would they even get down here? And where did all the robots go? This chamber was sealed up. The underground room had no way in or out. The robots were kept down here. But then someone let them out. No, seriously, what was that? I definitely saw something moving. I'm not even controlling her at this point. She's walking on her own accord. The noise is gone now. I think. The Harper Eye must have been the only way into the palace below, but whoever built this place was burying robots alive. But not like they were buried on Iox. Not simply bricked up in the walls. So why did Kaya want to come here? She said that she had a place in the palace. Is she gonna let me go down again? Or is she always gonna bring me up? This isn't a good idea. These walkways are steep and narrow, and who knows what's down there? Okay, so there's no way she's going to allow me to go down into the dark. Okay. There's something here. A serpent god sculpture carved from stone, dating from the early empire. It doesn't have an inscription on its torso. This comes from the same place as the axe and the shard of blade I found here earlier, I think. Presumably, people regularly visited both of these two locations. This will make it easier to locate. I'm coming back, Six.
There was something down there. I'm sure of it.
We have obtained one more interesting artifact here, the sculpture. We have also discovered the existence of a new location, an unknown ancient site. Shall I use the hopper again, mistress? Don't hassle me. I think there might still be robots down there. I heard things moving around in the darkness, crawling up and down the ramps. If they have not climbed out, mistress, they cannot be robots. Mindless husks, perhaps, but a true robot would be compelled to explore. Servos. We could tell Amadu about this place. If you wanted Amadu to disappear, mistress, and never return. That's right. Looks like we don't want to use the hopper. I just want to talk with Six more about... It's gone. There's nothing more. The voices are gone. What do you think they were? Who? Friends. Children. A whole life's worth. A whole life's worth of friends? So Six was a victim. But why? How did they select people to become robots? Someone wrote something on this pillar. But this one's too faded to read. I don't know if there's another room we can go into through the gate. Nope, we couldn't go through there. Let's look at the map. The site of the Withering Palace. Though why would anyone build a palace here is beyond me, yet built by the first Empress herself. But what is it? Some kind of library? I suggested there would be robots in an orangery? And Six seems to think it's been here before. So there's another Age of Sail site. A lost city, perhaps. But I don't know enough to find the site yet. Yeah, the statues of the ancient gods were sculpted here. The necklace of shells and curious altarpiece came from... Where it is, they have no idea. Six has triangulated the network of telescopes. We've pinpointed a location in the cloudy, murky depths, but it's a great distance of darkness. We found a wooden fragment from the boat's hull. Somehow crossed in. This goes really fast. I even turned this down, but it still goes really swiftly. I could look around here and try to find more artifacts, or I could explore other avenues until I find something else. Well, from here, the pre-Empire site looks promising. It has a dotted line around it. I think I'd probably want to go there next. Well, I can ask him to hopper us out. He'll probably ask soon enough. Is this the door? Yeah, one of them. Let's get back to the Nightingale. You can hopper through this, can't you? I should think so, mistress. Stand still, mistress. And so we left the surface of the site of the Withering Palace, with enough new evidence to find a previously unknown site. And we might have servos to potentially give to Amadou if we want to find the exact location of the observatory.